film sucks. Indie film sucks. It's the Indie Film Sucks podcast. Yeah.
Coming at you from the mean streets of St. Louis, from a basement on South Broadway, the Indie Film Sucks podcast, because indie film is the best $6 you're ever going to spend.
Oh, yes. If it costs $6, come
It
on.
costs way more than $6.
Exactly. So, no, indie film's on fire tonight because we got ourselves a guest.
We do. Two guests.
Oh, two guests. Absolutely two guests. But first, hey, we are the Indie Film Sucks podcast. It's an indie film podcast by indie filmmakers. My name's Mackie. This is Grega.
Yep.
We are missing the B&B show tonight.
Brock and Brittany.
Brock and Brittany are on assignment. So we are, what do we talk about here? We talk about the highs,
the lows,
and the in-betweens of
true
independent filmmaking. All right, without further ado, right?
Okay.
We have two guests tonight. You've seen their movies, I'm sure, right? We're going back to, 2016 Streets of Vengeance. Maybe you've seen the classic 2020 Slasherette Party. Is that saying that right? The 2023, what is that?
Murder Size.
And the new one coming out here.
Already out. Only FANGS. We got a true independent film team tonight because this is what I like about my job. Because I look at these people on IMDb and I look at what they do, and then I go, they are true independent filmmakers. Because we got writer, director, cinematographer, co-owner of A&P Productions, Angie, and Paul Ragsdale. Nice to meet you both. Welcome to Indie Film Sucks podcast. How are you?
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
Yes, that's a great introduction. Oh my gosh.
I try.
No one's ever called our movies classics. That's funny.
Are you kidding me? I mean, gosh, you guys, you guys have a genre. You hit it. I mean, you know what you're doing. I mean, for a fact, for sure.
Yeah, we definitely have an aesthetic we go for.
I mean, it's nice to, I wouldn't say that, but it's nice to hear.
Yeah.
So we got to ask them the famous question, Grega.
Yes, sir.
What is that?
What is your suck?
What is your suck?
You want to go first? Or you want me to go first?
Probably. I'll try and make it fast because I'm known to go long. So I'll try to go short. Okay. So the thing for me that's very challenging. I mean, there's so many. We already know that. But probably the thing that drives me crazy is that we don't have enough time in the day. When you're on set, you're like, okay, we're gonna do this. You have a whole plan, and then stuff always goes awry, and unexpected things pop up. Something's good, sometimes bad. But at the end of the day, at the end of the week, whatever your schedule is, it's never enough time. You always feel like, oh, I wish I would have got that one shot. I wish I would have got that one last scene. I wish we would have had time to go up on the roof and get that one thing, or there's just not enough time in the day.
Yeah. Nope. And I would say for me, I mean, among a lot of things, but I've thought about this question for a while. I've seen a few of your episodes, a few with James Dean and Christopher Bickle in particular, because I'm friends with them. And They were great shows. So I thought about, what would I say? What would be my indie film suck? It's got to be scheduling out the actors. Yeah, it comes time to make a shoot, and it's like, all right, let's do it. Let's find out when these guys are available. And yes, 1, 2, 3, 4. The fifth one's not. Okay, let's try it again. 1, 2, 3. No, not this one. It's like, oh my god, like it's just like trying to build a house, cards, and it could just tumble down at any moment, any slight change. And when you do get everybody, all lined up, it's like, it feels like a miracle. It's like, okay, oh god, please let this.
Just no one cancel.
Right?
No one gets sick. No one cancel. No flights get delayed.
Right.
Please.
And every shoot we've done, there's been, like a potential for disaster, obviously. I mean, I'll just go into our very first scheduling for the first the block of shooting for OnlyFangs. We had a bunch of people coming in from other states into California, and that just happened to be the day when there's this worldwide glitch of all the airports when all the flights were delayed 5, 6, 7, 8 hours. And that was very, very, very scary because we got the Airbnb, got everybody lined up. These guys are coming in and they didn't show up to the house and we didn't know if they ever would. Obviously they did eventually, but that's one of those things like when you schedule people out and it just like doesn't work. But thankfully that one did work, but that's the toughest.
Yeah, I just had another interview with the festival director, and he said to me, he said, "Did you know that indie filmmaking is the most dangerous thing in the world you can do?" And I said, "What do you mean by that?"
Yeah.
He said, "Well, every film I've worked on, there's always somebody who dies." I'm like, "What are you talking about?" "Oh, it's always somebody's grandma dies, somebody's uncle dies, somebody's dog dies, and
Right.
they have that excuse where they can't make the shoot
For scheduling.
Yeah. It's like, yeah, you're right. I mean, you always get that, oh, I wish I could be there, but I've got to get a prosthetic leg put on. Like what? There's always some.
Yeah, that thought comes to my mind too. It's like, oh, what if this happens? What if that happens while they're driving on the road or something?
I
It's
mean,
like,
we've heard a few as well. I mean, ours haven't been deaths, thank knock on wood, but ours have been like, I'm going through a divorce. I'm having a mental breakdown. I found out I'm pregnant, or like, there's a bunch of like surprises that it's like, could you have told me this like 2 days ago? Like, why do you tell me the night before we're gonna film? That's great, but it's a little heads up.
Yeah,
Been...
I mean, it's a miracle. Anytime you can get a shoot done and anytime you get a film done, it really, I start to think back sometimes of all the things that could have went wrong, and I start to get myself anxiety. It's like, oh,
post anxiety.
Yeah. It's like, oh my God, thank God that didn't go wrong. Jeez.
Well, and that's what's impressive because you're a completer, right? You complete your projects, and I think that's key to how you manage the schedule. We talked to a lot of folks out there, and you two didn't say anything we haven't heard,
Nope,
or what we experienced, and that's why it's key for this show. Is I mean, you're talking to people that don't know you. They're going, man, I experienced the exact same thing, and here's a couple that's in California, right? And you're trying, right, and you're just trying to hold it together just like the rest of us. But when you see that final product, it's all worth it.
Yeah.
And I think 100%. And I think that's just a testament to the true independent film spirit of what the grind is, and the suck, right? It's not really a suck, but man, come on, help me out a little bit.
Well, it's really tough, and you just gotta stick to it. And if it doesn't work the first time, you gotta do it again. Doesn't work the second time, do it again, over and over again.
Watch indie film, it's really easy to nitpick them and be like, oh, that looks so cheap, that looks so terrible. But people don't realize, and we're not asking for like sympathy or pity, but what people don't realize is like, you're lucky we finished that. Like, you're lucky we were able to shoot with those people, because that was us scrambling after the lead dropped out and this person's this fell through and then that guy walked off and then this. And so that's the best that we could do with what we had at that time, and to try to finish it. So in the end, like what you're saying, completing the project is ultimately the goal. And of course, shoulda, coulda, woulda, we wish there's plenty of things that we wish we could have done this, we would have done that, we had this plan but it didn't go through, and we had lots of plans for things to be better. You strive for the best, but in the end you just got to finish what you start, and next time try, when you know better, do better. That kind of thing.
Learn your lessons.
Yeah, you learn as you go and just try to be better the next time around, and hopefully avoid some new pitfalls that
That's the thing about indie film that I've always thought, because it's so easy to criticize what we do, and trust me, we've had some incredibly harsh criticisms. Everyone who does, I mean, if you never have, then it must be a miracle.
But or no one's watching.
Or no one's watching.
That's the worst.
That's even worse.
That is worse.
Yes, that is.
Well, sometimes I don't know, but it's like you can't stand up there with the sign that lists, here's all the things I had to go through to get this film made.
And they won't care anyway.
And they don't care. It's like the worst thing you can do, and I've never done this, is get in some sort of online argument with someone who doesn't like your movie. It's like, okay, whatever. I mean, no matter how shitty a review I've gotten, and I've got some terrible ones, and some good ones too, I always just thank them. Like, thanks a lot.
Yeah.
Exactly.
What else are you gonna do?
I do that. I say, thanks for watching. Sometimes
for
I'll say,
watching.
oh, sorry you didn't, it wasn't your cup of tea, but thank you for checking it out.
I don't even read them. Paul reads them.
And I've been able to convert a few people that way where
Okay.
I've said thank you and they were harsh or whatever, and I said, oh, thanks for watching, and they go, oh, hey man, let me check out your other stuff or whatever, they kind of like want
They
to,
feel bad for being
yeah,
at you.
maybe. And but like you said, like you don't want to get in a fight, you just thank them
No.
and you appreciate them watching, and maybe you can earn their viewership later
Yeah.
on a different movie.
I don't even waste my time because in my mind I'm like, well, everybody has different tastes, so I don't know if I'm arguing like from a technical point or a subjective, like, is it just you don't like this type of movie or you don't like this type of writing or you don't like these type of jokes? Like, I don't know. Everybody's sense of humor and sense of comedy and interests are different, so I don't know. I'm not gonna argue with them of what they liked. Like that's their opinion, so it's like,
Yeah.
all right.
That's unwinnable anyways. Hey, Paul,
Exactly.
I thought it was interesting that you mentioned James Dean, because when I was researching, Greg had told you were going to be on. That's exactly who I thought of, was James Dean. So one of my questions was like, hey, do you know James Dean
Yeah.
out there? So, talk about that really. How'd you meet him? How'd that connection happen?
I mean, he was a filmmaker who had made the first film I saw of his was the Vengeful Nun movie,
Yep.
Fontaine. And we kind of just became friends on Facebook, and he reached out to me about Triple Xmas. And he called me on the phone. He just kind of wanted to go over it with me and get my feedback, I guess. I had just made Murder Sides with Drew Marvick and Jessa Flux, and he wanted to use them as well in that movie, which he did. And so we just talked, we liked the same stuff, we're around the same age, kind of had the same outlook on genre films and stuff like that. We just became friendly. He supported Murder Size, I supported Triple Xmas, and we just kind of went back and forth, sharing each other's posts and sharing actors and, stuff like that. And, I'm excited about his new one too, the Giallo movie that he's doing. So, yeah, just a nice filmmaker, colleague, friendship that I have with him, and I try to keep that friendship with a bunch of other filmmakers too. Another one is Christopher Bickle, which you guys had on your show.
Yep.
He's a great colleague. We usually trade, inside tips on how to raise money or actors, how to find this person, that person, things like that. I like to keep, a tight family oriented, family feel with filmmakers if I can, if we, vibe and we can see eye to eye on stuff. So they're two of the among the two of the ones I talk to the most, I would say.
Also, Jay Horton, I would assume too.
I talked to him a few times. I definitely follow him. He gives out great information.
Yeah.
I usually will direct other people to him when people ask me questions about like fundraising and stuff. I say, well, just go look at all his videos because that's how I got all my information and all the tips that he's put out. We've only talked a few times. He's given me a couple of good reviews like on Amazon and stuff. So definitely appreciate that. He's a guy that I think a lot of filmmakers should model themselves after because he gives back a lot to the filmmaking community, and he's always there with great tips and ideas, and just with his filmmaking series that he used to have is very, very informative. So yeah, he's another one, a great guy.
Yeah, we just had him on the show and earlier this week actually.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
he was
cool.
telling about when he first started out and he was making these sort of low budget direct video films that he was a hired gun on, and they did a couple of 1 day feature films.
Oh yeah, I've heard
I
talk
mean
about that.
that is insane.
Yeah.
That is
Wow.
crazy.
That is
And
crazy.
No,
and he
yeah,
said,
he's a machine. He's churning
yeah,
them out.
this
Wow.
this was probably 20-ish years ago, but he's like, yeah, we shot it in sequence, and you can see if you watch it how it gets dicier as it goes along.
That's funny. That's how I used to make movies on VHS back when I was 13. Just cut in the camera, shoot,
Yep.
cut this way, this way, this way. So that's cool. I like
Yeah.
It's come a
that.
long way.
Yeah.
No, I appreciate you saying that about the connections, because what we try to always portray on this and why we're doing some of this stuff and bringing folks on like yourselves is it's a small, big community at the exact same time. And I don't think people realize how much we're all in the same boat or
Yeah.
how similar it is.
Yeah.
So really, when I thought about that and I read a little bit about like OnlyFangs, and it said it came out of a crowd fund. Was that the
Yeah.
first one you crowdfunded?
Yeah.
Or okay, so talk about that. We'll get into OnlyFangs in just a little bit, but what about like your crowdfunding experience? Because we've tried it.
Yeah.
Nope, yeah. And I know Dean's really good at it.
Yeah.
And a few others are really good at it. I want to hear your experience on it and why you thought that was important for your films.
I think Only Fangs was our fourth campaign.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we had been making movies prior to even doing our first campaign years ago. We met in film school. We were very used to just low budget, making stuff up, just running around with your friends and a camera and just
everything out of pocket.
right, everything out of
No one gets
pocket.
paid.
It's like you fed people pizza, that was it. Like and then you
Yep.
watched whatever you made in your living room and you all laughed and were like, "Oh, that was hilarious." But our friends kind of kept it at that level that we went to film school with, but Paul and I took it further and further. We kept trying to like expand and expand. And for the longest time we were funding stuff out of our own pocket because we're like, we're not gonna even ask for money because we don't know what we're doing. So we're just trying to make sure we know what we're doing before we even launch a campaign. So by the time we had did our first fundraising campaign, we'd already made a feature on our own and several short things.
Like 3 features, actually.
Yeah, we'd already made 3 features by the time we decided to launch a fundraising campaign, and we fully expected to raise $0 because we were nobody from nowhere. We're like, how is anyone even going to hear about us? There's millions of people online. How are they going to choose to fund our thing over someone else's thing? But we did put together this little like strategy, this little plan of like, oh, maybe if we do this and that.
That was the first time because it was the first time of me entering like Facebook horror groups and really discovering them and then seeing other people post their films in there. So I thought, well, if I could do this campaign, maybe not rely on it to get money to make the movie, but to use it as like a marketing thing. So when we first started, we had the actresses come to our house and we set up a backdrop and we took photos. Did photo shoots, did a few video shoots to make like a mock trailer kind of, and we used those and posted those in those film groups to get people to know like what the aesthetic was, which was Streets of Vengeance is the movie that we're talking about.
I think back then the ideas that we had been pitched for the launch, like using Indiegogo, the suggestions we kept receiving was do a pitch video, like you and Paul explain to the audience what your movie's about and like why you want to raise this money, what you're going to do with the money.
Tell them your story.
Tell them your story. Like tell them it's your passion. And we were like, that feels very not genuine. It feels scripted, and it feels like, again, if they don't know us, why would they care?
Right.
Yeah, right.
I want to appeal to them on a human level. It's
right. We're like, they don't care about us. They don't know us. So we're like, we have to offer something.
We want to show them the aesthetics.
So that they will want to be like, I want to see that, and I'm willing to give you $5 just because it looks interesting. So we're like, how do we make it look interesting to an audience? And we're like, well, the quickest way is visual. So through photos and video clips. So
and we had also had some music composed already because of our previous movie, Cinco de Mayo. We had a composer, Vestron Vulture, who had done the score, and it was great. So I'd asked him, like pre-Indiegogo launch, to make a couple of tracks for the film, the upcoming film, gave him the script, all that. He made some music, so I was able to use that for our Indiegogo fake trailer. And so that really captured it was like a heavy synth, dark synth sound, 80s sound. So along with that, and then the visuals of the girls and how they were dressed, really retro style, that really created like this image and picture in people's minds. So we were able to raise $1,500, which for us was amazing.
Yeah, hey.
I was like, holy shit, these were people that were strangers, that's why it was so mind-blowing, because we didn't know them. Right. All they knew us from was the video and images online.
I think the other important key thing to that was that we were going to already make that movie regardless if we made $1 or not. So we had already been used to funding our own projects. So we're like, well, if no one gives anything, we're going to make this anyway. So, I mean, might as well just launch it and see what happens. And if somebody pays, if we raise $50 and we at least get to feed the cast, like with that money or something. And so for us, we'd already started making the movie. So we had clips, we had footage to be able to compile this like trailer to share on the campaign and be like, here's a little taste of what we've already started. So that's what had people start to buy in and be like, oh, okay, it's already going. And this is what it's going to look like. So I'm kind of interested. That's what made people start to, okay, I'll give you guys $10, $5. So when we raised $1,500, we were like, whoa, we made it.
Yeah.
I think what you said, that's the separator line between people who succeed and people who fail. Is you said, we were going to do it either way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people who get nowhere in this business, this industry, are the people who wait for the perfect moment, the perfect budget, the perfect situation.
Yes.
because I know people like that who still, they've been doing this longer than I have, and I've been doing it for 27 years. They still have not made a feature film because it's like, well, everything's not perfect. I'm like,
Exactly.
if you wait for perfection, you're never going to make a movie.
Right.
100%.
At some point, you just got to say, we're doing it, come hell or high water.
Right, exactly. And at this point, we've made 7 feature films, and
Nice.
we still know people from film school that are working on their film that they've been working on for over 20 years, have yet to put anything out.
Yep.
And I know that there would be some criticism and say, well, you guys are putting out crap. My thing's gonna be a masterpiece, and it's like, well, at least
Sure.
our thing's out there. I mean, we're building all this experience of this community and friends and network, and
It is experience. It's being behind the camera, being in front of the shoot, putting the production schedule together, all that. You can't go on your first film and know that. You're not going to know that. So when you do get that project or the funding, or somebody goes, hey, I want to hire A&P Productions to do XYZ, right? You have that credibility and you've done it, and you're not going to make those simple, like we always say, indie film is about making the mistakes and just not making them again, and trying not to make them costly, because
exactly.
it is, right? It's very costly in an independent film to have to reschedule a shoot or bring actors back. So how do you learn that when a lot of people are doing it for free, or you don't have a low budget, and then you can work your way up? And I think, wow, that's so impactful with the way you said that. Is it's just very key to hear that from your side. I think it just gives our audience kind of going, you know what? Everybody's doing this. Everybody's the same way.
Yeah.
Make film.
You learn how to confront the fear of failure. That's mainly what it is, and that's why perfectionism stems from fear of failure.
Exactly.
Because you don't want it to be bad, or whatever. You want it to be brilliant. So you just gotta confront that fear, just do it, and just accept that it might be bad, but so what? You just move on to the next one.
We were never delusional enough to believe that we were going to create this masterpiece, that we're going to be famous, we're going to be rich. It's like we've never gone in with that kind of approach. We've always been like, this is going to be fun. We're going to be with our friends. Imagine if we made it look like this movie. This is our inspiration, and we want to do a scene that feels like the scene of this movie. And when we are able to do that, that's where we start to feel our success. So, from our first indie film or Indiegogo campaign raising $1,500 to our most recent one raising over $60,000.
Nice.
We've come along. That's only 4 campaigns. It took 4 campaigns to go from 1,500 to 60, but it's from the bodies of work that we've been building and trying to deliver and show people, like, you can trust us. If you take a chance and invest into our campaigns, we will finish a project, and you can, and at this point now you can go back to our previous projects and see, do I like what they're doing? Do I want to trust these, like, do I want to keep supporting them and seeing where they're going to go next? At least we have something to direct people to be like, oh, go check out our other stuff, and if you like it, that's kind of where we're going next.
So. I mean, just today, someone that's a fan of OnlyFans ended up buying our 4 previous Blu-rays, which we do our own DIY release too. I'm gonna get to that later. But people go back and like look at your other stuff, your old stuff, and want to have your whole collection or something, and that's a very surreal feeling for sure. So, but it happens a lot.
Speaking of Indiegogo, do you guys think with the changes that's gone through that's kind of tanked now?
Yeah, I'm not going to do it. I have a couple of friends that tried it after the merger or the transition, and it's a nightmare, it sounds like. And so I still have like some money that they haven't paid me yet, and I don't know how to get them to send it to me, because like the cusp, of when they merge is right when OnlyFans campaign was ending. So I don't even know how to contact them or anything. So a lot of other friends have suggested Kickstarter, which would be a first time for me, or just doing it straight up PayPal, just going that way. So I'm not sure what we're gonna do, but we're definitely not gonna go with Indiegogo.
It's funny how every aspect of the industry for indie film makers, and I'm going to distribution and all these things, tend to catch up with us.
Yeah.
Ever since, right? Whenever we have an outlet or something that works for
going
us,
so great.
and exactly. Yeah. They monetize it just a little bit level higher,
and a little bit higher, or they change it just enough so the barrier to entry is just that much harder.
Kind of like Film Hub.
Kind of Film Hub, that's the
Film
one I was
Hub,
thinking
yeah.
of. Yeah, it's just it's strange, but I appreciate your story and the grind because we're right there with you. And now I feel like we got a connection, at least for us to reach out to and go, hey, how'd you guys do this?
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, for sure.
Exactly.
Happy to share our experience or like just I mean our thoughts on whatever. I mean, I think that's probably the number one thing people reach out to us about. It's like, we saw your campaign, how did you do that? And we're like, honestly, the sad and boring answer is it took years to like build this community and build this trust in the community for them to know our name and to know that we're going to finish what we start and we're going to deliver on like an 80s vibe or whatever we say whatever we're promising, we're wanting to deliver that. So the boring answer is it took years and it took a lot of consistency. It's kind of like, how do you lose a lot of weight? It's like the boring answer is eat healthy and go to the gym. It's like no one wants to hear that. It's boring.
Give me the shot. Damn it.
Give me something fast overnight.
Yeah, Ozempic. And then in 20 years, you can be part of the class action lawsuit when everyone gets cancer from that. That's my thought.
Exactly.
No, it's also funny when you say like, oh, the criticism, and I'm just like, but you haven't tried it, you haven't done it. So, right? So you try it and do it. It's hard.
It's hard, yeah.
You
definitely have to enjoy the process. Otherwise, why would you do it? It's very hard. It takes a lot of persistence and dedication to like you show up on a day and that day was crap and you're like, why do I do this? Why do I keep coming?
Why do I make movies?
Why do I make movies?
Yeah.
But you know, it's the process. We enjoy it. We're storytellers. We want to share these ideas, and if it means enough to you, I 100%, even if you feel like this movie sucks, I had an idea and it's not going that way, I highly recommend that you see it through anyway, because the lessons that you learn along the way is really ultimately the best part of it.
Oh yeah.
I agree. Let's I don't know. So again doing some research and I saw in Daily Dead you were number 10 on the movies of 2025. Did you see that for Justina's Bonilla's favorites of 2025? Yeah, you were up there with some very big movies, some anniversary movies.
Yeah, Justina, yeah, she's great.
She's amazing.
Yeah, we're very, very appreciative to her. She had interviewed us about Cinco de Mayo, our very first feature film, which is a holiday horror slasher movie, Mexican American identity stuff. So she's writing a book, so that's really cool to see that. But yeah, I mean, the fact that OnlyFans is even mentioned on any kind of list or anyone's top
anything
10 of 2025 is always a surreal
like us
feeling. Yeah, it's really cool.
Is that a typo? It's like weird.
Yeah, so talk about how that came about with the crowdfund and did you raise 60 for that?
Yes.
Yeah, we raised 60 for OnlyFans, and this is our biggest film, our biggest campaign, the biggest like widest scope of a film. I mean, we're calling it our epic. It is our longest movie, the most characters, just the story, everything's just the biggest of all. So we knew that it was going to take a lot, to make this movie, but we still didn't expand our crew, which has always been a thing that we've talked about a lot.
Yeah.
So maybe next time we'll expand our crew. 'Cause it's always just me and Angie, our cinematographer Dan, and then we'll have maybe someone step in to do audio sometimes. If we're lucky, we'll get a fourth person. But most of the time, or not most of the time, but a lot of times it's just me. So like I have to direct, I gotta help Dan with the lights and everything. He handles a lot, but I have to help because he has no one there, and we just gotta make it happen. We just gotta do it.
Yeah.
And that's how we do it. We just don't want a lot of people standing around and not doing anything or getting in the way. It's like we're just work.
Not like that, but the crew part. I mean, I think people are always surprised to hear that our crew is literally 3 people. It's me, Paul, and Dan, our cinematographer. And the reason why, it's like, sure, of course, we would love a crew.
Yeah.
And we've tried to hire people in the past, but then that thing happens where the day before they're like, oh, I forgot. I have this, I have that. And then you're like,
unreliable.
All right, well, I guess I'll just stand here and hold the mic and try to direct and hold the clipboard and tell the actors this and get their clothes and feed them lunch. And so it's not because we don't want a crew. It's just kind of, we work faster this way. We've been doing it for so long. It slows us down to have extra people that you have to direct to tell them what to do. So I mean, we're kind of used to it at this point.
So, well, I also think most people who've never worked on an indie film think that filmmaking is really fun and exciting. And and honest to God, I mean, you do this job because you love it. You make movies because you love it. But I say that 95% of filmmaking is dog shit. And the 5% that's not dog shit though is so awesome that it makes up for the 95%. But like I remember we made a World War II feature film, and we're talking took us 3 years. Yeah, that was insanely stupid to attempt that. But yeah, 3 years. It was 05, 06, 06, 07, 07, 08.
Wow.
So
wow.
And we used to have something I called it the grip of the week club. We'd have a grip or a PA'd come out like, oh, that sounds so awesome, and they'd be there for a day. Like, yeah, no, I don't want to come back.
Like, fuck this. I don't want to.
Because it's
Oh, sorry, can I swear?
Yeah, as much as you want. It's like this shit is hard, man, and and I mean, like I said, it's kind of like the Peace Corps, the toughest job you'll ever love, because it sucks and you're going through it, and sometimes you hate it and you question your life choices, like, why am I making movies?
Why do I do this?
But there's nothing else you'd rather do. And so I totally get that feeling of, you get people, they're excited. And I've said this a lot of times, the more excited someone is to be on set, the more likely they're going to bail.
That's good. That's actually true. I'm getting some people in my mind right now. Like, oh,
Yep.
God, that guy.
I can see your
He was real excited. I saw him again.
Oh, so
funny.
So I see how, I mean, I'm trying to speculate here because I see what you did with Only Fang, who you brought in, right? I mean, that was a pretty much who's of, like, I mean, right? I think that's where you, right?
I try to make it like the Expendables of the indie horror scene. And that was a big motivator behind it. I wanted to see Kansas Bowling and Ellie Church, and Jessa Flux,
Barbic.
obviously, you're already together at Murder Size, but I wanted to, have like a who's who, like you said, of all these people that have not done a movie together yet.
Yeah.
And now they are, a few of them are actually in the same movie now. But I like putting like that big cast together, and where they normally wouldn't work together maybe on something. So that was a big that was part of what made the movie epic, and just made the movie more expensive. I mean, all these people from out of state, it's
I see where you put the cash,
right,
for sure.
Their flights and their hotels and their gas and this and that. So that was a big undertaking. That was the biggest one we've ever took for a film, and flying in so many people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, how many days shoot on that one?
The first
block was like 6
days. And then most of them were kind of done as a huge block. Then we would bring back like 3 people for 2 days, or we'd bring back 2 other people for another 2 days. But the main bulk of it we shot in 6 days. I want to say like 80% of the movie.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, just a lot.
So we shot a huge bulk of the movie with the majority of the people in 6 days.
Right. So would you say you have kind of a Roger Corman aesthetic going on?
I mean, I think his movies probably had a lot, I don't know, maybe not a lot more time than we did. I'm not sure. I mean, I definitely appreciate the aesthetics of Roger Corman, and the idea of, working hard, and, you do whatever you can to make it as cheap as possible and all that stuff. But like for us, I mean, really, I mean, I would definitely flounder under his system, because I'm always wanting more, like kind of like Peter Bogdanovich, you're trying to put more into your movie, and he's like, no, it's just a stupid fucking genre picture, like just get it out on the street.
And we're like, no, there needs to be 3 more wardrobe changes.
Yeah,
we want this shot, and
but it seems like
you've made your point.
It seems like you're kind of going for it, like boobs, blood, and humor.
And we just wanted to infuse it with more, more effort. I mean, the effort we put into certain scenes, like there's a scene, the carousel scene, that was supposed to be like a Lost Boys homage, and we wanted that so bad, and we made it happen. It was like the last day it was going to be torn down at this waterfront in Sacramento, which is like an hour away from us, and it was a rainy night, and we had to get us and our cinematographer out there, and it was raining. And we didn't know if when we got there if it's still going to be raining, but we said, "Fuck it, let's just go." And by the grace of the film gods, it stopped as soon as we got there. We got on there, we did it. It was cold, wet, but we made it, and it looks amazing. It's like amongst my favorite thing in the whole movie itself. So it's like we try hard and we put a lot of effort into getting these things that, obviously, like, would not be all the effort we put into it normally does not get put into these type of movies. Sometimes people have accused us of putting too much effort into it, which sounds crazy.
Actually, we get that.
We get that a lot from our
Oh,
peers.
really?
As
From our
a
peers,
criticism.
because it's like, why do
For
you do
what
this?
you're
Why do you-
doing or what they think you're doing?
That we're doing
We're doing too much. We're putting too much production value, too much like wardrobe change. We put focus on things that normally these filmmakers in our genre would not pay attention to. Like what you explained, you said boobs, blood, and humor. Like, okay, yeah, that's great. A lot of filmmakers do that, but they don't really concentrate on the wardrobe. They don't concentrate on the art direction. They don't concentrate on the lighting, direction, all that stuff. All that stuff is like, oh, that's just too much. Like we're just trying to make, a little exploitation movie here, kind of like what you were saying about Roger Corman. That's why I said if I was under Roger Corman, I would definitely be fired because I would want more.
Like you're trying too hard.
Like I'm delivering the goods, but cut out all that other stuff. Let's just make this, very simple, very plain, and we just can't do that.
You're taking it to a new level.
We're pushing ourselves, and some people come along for the ride, and some people just stand off to the side and shake their heads and say, "Why are you doing this to yourself?" I mean, I'm literally on the floor cleaning up blood that we spilled everywhere, and some actors are just kind of looking down at you, literally like, "Why do you guys do this?
Yeah, why do you do this? I don't know.
I got it, okay? I got to do it. What do you mean?
No one else does it?
Yeah, I got to do it. No one else gonna do it for you.
We're obsessed with visuals, and I mean, we've definitely been accused of letting our montages go on for a little too long, but that's because we're highly attracted to aesthetics and visuals. I mean, we're in a visual medium of art, so that's kind of the point. At least that's from my perspective, my opinion. So for me, as an artist, I feel like I'm trying to give the audience something different, or I'm trying to give them something that they're like, that is beautiful, either not maybe the person on screen or the place that they're filming or what they're wearing or how they're acting or the slow motion or the light, that 80s neon pink or that glistening bowling alley shot. So for me, I mean, especially at this level where people are investing more and more money, it feels like, why are they giving us money if we're not delivering something for the price that they paid? They are expecting something good. So the more money we make, the more we try to give back.
Value.
The more value we try to put into our projects. Ultimately, the bigger we get, the more money we make, the more we try to squeeze into our projects, which, by the way, OnlyFans, on top of it, we threw in thousands of our own personal dollars. Always. So even with the funds we raise, we still always end up putting in more of our own money because we're just so addicted to be like, but what if we added one more shot and we got this car and we got the girls doing this and we got it at sunset and we rented this really cool car, or what if we rented this place and it looked like this? So we're just suckers for aesthetics, and we always try to add in one more little scene or one more visual detail that people might like. So
was there anything that did not work out?
Oh yeah, tons of stuff.
Yeah. Oh, you mean as far as like what we wanted or trying to do? Yeah, I mean you can say that's pretty much every film, but what we've learned to is just to adapt, okay, we get to a location and it's just like, this is not what we were picturing, but we got to do it, make it work. And that's where, me and Angie and Dan come together and put our brains together. Okay, what if we just shoot it this way and then we just frame it, or they walk around this and we can just use the ocean as the background or something just to make it interesting and salvageable.
Again, that's our experience. We've been doing it for so long. We are getting better and better and faster at how to problem solve. A lot of indie filmmaking is problem solving. It's like, this guy didn't show up, or that person's running late, or we can't afford that place. We can only afford this cheap looking thing, or this person forgot their clothes they're supposed to be wearing today. Or there's lots of problems you're constantly trying to solve them, and the
problem solving and in a timely fashion too,
and in a positive attitude.
For sure. Never want to blow up.
We've heard horror stories of other sets where people like melt down, explode, or they quit, or they walk off. That's not our vibe. We want people to enjoy the process. We want them to come back. We want them to be able to say, I had a great time making this. So otherwise, what is the point? If it's not fun, there's really no point to be doing this. So,
I love that. That's
I mean,
that's so key even on our sets is our vision, your vision, as an independent filmmaker isn't necessarily their problem or their
yeah, exactly.
right. It's like you have to make sure everybody's in something and being prepared, right?
Yeah,
For
sure.
right. So you're not
100%.
wasting their time, energy, or effort.
Yeah.
And then everybody's collaborative and it
Yeah.
makes the film better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People come in with their ideas and stuff. Yeah.
Whole
Yeah,
thing, our preparation is for the people to be able to show up, and there is a plan, and no one has to do anything. They don't have to make any kind of decisions. It's like if you're an actor, we're going to tell you, we have your clothes ready. We know exactly what you're going to wear. We know exactly what you're going to have for lunch because these are the things I worked out with them beforehand. I know all their nutritional needs, who's vegan, who's allergic
Gluten-free.
who's allergic to gluten, who's this. I have all the list. So I've already prepared their meal plan, their schedule for the day, what they're going to wear, what locations we're going to, and how they're going to get there, who's their rides, what they're going to say, where they're going to stand. They don't have to make any decisions. They're just there to look cool, have a fun time, know their lines, and make friends, and take a bunch of pictures with themselves, selfies, and hopefully they ignore any problems that we got going on behind the camera. They don't need to worry about that.
Clueless. They had no idea anything was happening.
And you're directing?
Yes.
Exactly. I love it.
And I stop in between because I got to go take someone to the airport, and then I'll be right back. But I think one of the questions you asked was like, did we have any things that didn't go right? I mean, one of the biggest challenges we had was our main location where we were filming the final end scene. It was a skate park, and we shot quite a bit there in the first 6 days, and we still had quite a bit to finish there. But the guy who owned the location lost the place, or he gave it up. It's a complicated story, but basically him losing his spot meant we lost our location, and it's a very specific looking building. There was a lot of graffiti and stuff. We'd already shot a big chunk of the movie there, so we had to figure out like, we're not going to reshoot. That's impossible. The what we shot already, there was so many people that we had to fly out to do this. We don't have the time or the funds to be able to reshoot that entire thing. So we had to figure out find a place that would match it, kind of. And so far, we haven't heard anybody be able to pinpoint what's that place and what's the new place.
All right. I didn't notice anything different.
So what was it like? Was it new ownership or was it like?
No, we had to find like the guy is having problems with like tweakers and stuff around his it was a skate shop. And so there's like guns pulled out and cops called and all this stuff. Not while we were there, like shortly after. So the guy just had to leave. And when I was gonna book his spot, I used a website to book the spot. And he was like, "Hey man, I'm sorry, like I'm not there anymore. I've actually the last day." And there's a video of all the graffiti that we used was being painted over. And I was like, "Oh, it's completely gone." Not even like I couldn't even reach out to the new owners. It wouldn't have even made a difference.
Yeah.
So we had to find a whole new place in a whole new city that luckily was another skate park and had graffiti. It was similar enough, and we used it. Thank God.
Man, that right there is the true independent film spirit.
I love it, man.
Because
that's awesome.
It like you have something and then it's taken away from you, and some people would give up.
Oh yeah.
But I think
no, you didn't.
I bet you did. But a true indie filmmaker is like, well, we're gonna make it work.
Yeah.
Yes.
That reminds me, we were shooting the climactic scene of a well, I like to call it a post-apocalyptic father-daughter western, but it's a zombie movie. And
I want to watch it.
So we had this brewery and everything was worked out, and then the next thing it was like an old, like 100-year-old brewery, and we just wanted to use the exterior, and they came back with this outrageous amount of money. Like an insane amount of money. I'm like, you realize we just want the exterior. Yeah, well, it's going to cost this. You need to have this, that. I'm like, okay, cool. I went down the street, found an abandoned building, and we shot the same stuff right there for free.
Awesome.
It's like, if the cops show up, I'll spin a lot of bullshit.
Yeah, I'm a student filmmaker. Yes. I'm just taking a still.
Yeah.
Whatever you got to do.
Recording a family reunion video.
I own this building. Yeah, exactly. You gotta do what you gotta do. I mean, there's I don't know if I'm giving away too much, but in that sequence, there's a third location that we had to use because the second skate park, while it saved our asses, we didn't have complete access to it. So there's another one that we had to use, and we had to be creative and
God.
light it and make it look like a little one instead of three.
Yes.
So yeah,
So-
it's just like that, man. Just gotta do what you gotta do.
So
It was
lesson learned is if you get a location that's perfect, shoot everything and just be done with it.
Try to get out
if
of
you
it as soon as you
can, yeah.
can.
Yeah, if
Because
you can.
tomorrow is not promised.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Tomorrow,
literally.
tomorrow's not promised. So Paul, anything else going on? I mean, what else you guys got going on? What's next for you? What's, you know?
Well, right now, just a while ago, not like two weeks ago, we shot a interview with Rhonda Shear from Up All Night, which is
Yeah.
a big milestone for me, a childhood dream, because Rhonda Shear and Up All Night was a huge influence on everything we do. Like literally, it's like I made these movies to be on that show. And this year, our films will be on that show. Murder Size will be on Up All Night, an episode hosted by Rhonda Shear. So
Good.
that
Good
is
for
like
you.
a big milestone, big win for us. So that will be on Bloodstream TV, which is this new platform. I think it's maybe a year or two old, but OnlyFans right now is on Bloodstream TV, and it's been doing really great. It's been #1 for over a month on their channel, and we're just working to get OnlyFans on more platforms. Right now, it's been taking a while. You know, we kind of mentioned Film Hub
We're waiting on
doing a
Tubi.
big transition recently, and it's just been taking longer, it seems like, for other people's films to get on that platform or get on TV.
Is that what you did with that one? Is that how you did that one? Is
Yeah,
that
we use Film Hub, and that's how we got on all of our other films on Tubi. But right now, OnlyFans has been taking a long time. I'm not really sure why, but we're waiting out for that one. So we're just kind of just promoting OnlyFans, getting people to watch it. We sell our own physical copies as well of all of our films through Etsy, and we use Kanaki.com to make our discs and our merch.
Blu-rays, DVDs, and then there's a group of people who still love to collect VHS.
Yep.
So we've made VHS tapes of all of
Yep.
our
for your
movies and
genre?
more.
Absolutely, you guys are crushing that. Yeah, that's
Oh
very
yeah,
very smart.
people they love the VHS tapes, so we're selling those. We're just so big into physical media, and DIY, and it's kind of spilled over into our next script that we're writing right now. Is a huge love letter to physical media, to the movies of the '90s, late night Cinemax, which is our vibe for sure, but even further. And
Can we say Skinamax? Is that what we're saying here?
Cinemax, yes.
Okay, all right.
Cinemax, Showtime, uh, all that. So it's video stores, video, physical media, all that stuff. We're really going into that territory on the next script. I don't know if it's gonna be our next one because we're writing a few scripts at the same time, which is something we like to do just to, juggle.
Options.
Yeah. But more than likely, it's probably going to be it. But we haven't announced it yet, so I don't want to make an announcement or promise if it's
Sure.
not going to be it. But we're always working on scripts.
Have you guys ever gone a traditional distributor route?
Yes.
Yes, the
Our
first time.
first feature, which was Slasher Video, they later got bought out by Olive Films. We were so excited. Again, this was us, no experience, nobody's. Somebody found our movie and was like, "We like it. We want to distribute it," and we were like, "I'll take it."
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Was that
Because we made
Cinco
this-
or would you have one before that?
It was Cinco de Mayo.
Yeah.
That was the first one. And, again, like we just made the movie just for ourselves and we put it in a theater and stuff. But then it got noticed by Slasher Video, which they were putting out shot on video movies, which are these movies from like the early 90s shot on VHS. Our movie has that aesthetic and that, that feel for it. And so he wanted it. So he wanted to be part of his Slasher Video filmography library. And we said, sure,
We had
let's
no
do it.
expectations.
Right.
Again, we expected to see nothing from it because again, we're not delusional. We know nobody knows us. We're like, probably no one's gonna see this. So why not sign it over? We signed a contract with them. I forget how many years it was for, but we had no expectations of ever seeing $1 from it, and we didn't.
No,
which is fine.
99 cents.
I was hoping you were gonna I was hoping you were gonna come back with, and we ended up with like $5,000.
Funded
Wow.
our next film, and we've been going since then.
No, the only great thing was that we could see our films because it was Cinco and Streets of Vengeance that we had signed over. We saw them in Barnes and Noble back when they used to have more movies, which now shrunk a lot. But we went to Barnes and Noble and they were
I
right
saw
there.
you. I saw your picture.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly. And when we found it, I was like, whoa, this is insane.
And it was like on Target website, Best Buy's website, like
Man, and
Walmart. It was
you
like
guys got
Amazon.
You guys got $0 out of
got
it?
zero.
0 cents, like nothing at all.
Yeah.
And we were with them for like 5. I think they had
5
them for
years.
like 5 years.
Oh,
or
I'm
something.
sure that's minimum contract now. Yeah, 10 years is what they're asking for now.
Yeah, yeah.
They give you this whole explanation of like we have to, recoup the license, and we're like,
Yeah.
that's fine because
Yeah,
again,
we've heard that. That's another
again,
show.
we didn't expect to see anything.
And the thing is, we had a rapport with the guy because he was the one that we first signed to, and his company was then, signed a deal with Olive. So he was like the middleman. And so you're like, hey man, what's going on? Can you get some numbers? And it's like, oh yeah, just a lot of bullshit talk around the corner. So I was like, okay, all right, next time we're not doing that. And also we were very thankful that we didn't sign any of our digital rights, which at the time weren't really big. So we were able to put our films on Film Hub
Nice.
while this distribution deal was still in play, and then that's when we actually saw money. So we didn't see money until it was being streamed.
Yeah, so I think our third slasher feature, Slasher Up Party, that's the one that we started to gain more traction, like in the indie film scene, and people were like, "Oh, these guys make movies, like they're up and comers or whatever." But so that's when we started to raise more money on our fundraising campaigns, and that's when people started taking more interest in us as far as like, "Oh, we want to distribute," and that's when Paul and I had already had the experience of our prior 2 films going through a distribution company, and we're like, why?
Yeah, no.
What for? Like, why would we let these people do it when they're just gonna own it for 5 years and we can't sell it ourselves if they are selling it? So we decided with Slasher Party, like, let's try our hand. I mean, we're already known to be hard workers. Like, we can grind this out ourselves, like start our own Etsy shop, and let's just see, because we don't know if anyone even has any interest in our movies because we're not selling them.
Right. And people would ask, how can I find your movies? Like, well, you got to go to Amazon and buy it. Oh, I can't just buy it from you? It's like, no, unfortunately, no.
That we wanted to be able to be direct to the customer or fan. I ain't a fan, but people that are supporters and they're like, I want to buy your movie from you because I want you to sign it. And people would be like, we want you to sign it. It's like, well, we don't sell it, so we'd have to buy it, then open it, and so that felt stupid. So we're like, let's just start our own store. We'll order our own toys, and we've had our own Etsy shop and made our own physical copies ever since Slash Live Party, and we've certainly had lots of offers for distribution deals with all of our most recent projects. But we're like, unless you're signing me a fatty check up front, don't even talk to me, because what are you going to do for me?
What are you gonna do for me that I can't do for myself?
Exactly. You're not gonna work harder than I am. Like, we promote our stuff way more than any of the distribution companies would promote our projects. So it's like, we're gonna promote it, we're gonna market it, we're gonna be telling everybody about it, we're gonna make the thing. So what are you doing that I can't do?
They
Why
take
should
it,
I give you the money?
They throw it in a catalog, and whatever profits there are, they reap, and the filmmaker's left with nothing.
Exactly. So this way we could also do the small shop kind of vibe where people know that if they're buying the project directly from us, the Blu-ray or whatever, we all the funds that we raise from those things, we just turn around and invest them into our next project. And I think a lot of consumers are a lot more comfortable with the money that they're spending going directly to the creators and knowing like, oh, I'm supporting the creator, not some big Barnes and Noble or whatever. I'm giving it directly to the directors, and then they're going to take that funds and they're just going to make the next movie that I want to see anyway. So we get a lot more support that way. And it's nice for us to be able to see exactly how many copies we sell each month. And we're like, oh my God, I didn't know that many people like were buying our movie. I never would have known that if I had signed with a distributor, because they don't tell you anything.
No. Well, nor would you ever see the money you would make. It's still expensive to do it yourself. Don't get me wrong, because we have the same kind of platform going on for what we do. You have to buy it, invest it, and then try to resell it for a minimal profit, right? Are you guys doing the shows at all? Do you guys hit the circuit on that side of things? I know that's kind of
the conventions.
Yeah.
We haven't done any yet.
No, we've always been either we were in production when they were going on here in California, or I would apply for a vendor table and they just wouldn't get to me. So it's like, I don't know. And then the last year they actually did respond, but it was like only a few days out.
Weekend.
There were a few days out, and I was like, well, I'm not ready now. Like, I had applied like 4 months ago, and you never heard from you guys.
They told us like the weekend before.
So
we just saw your application. Can you do it? We're like,
So
this weekend?
Yeah, so this year might be the first year that we actually do it because we have a pretty big one here in the Sacramento area, and we have like 4 movies now that are in the horror genre that we can really pedal and get out there. So I think we're actually going to do it this year, unless a project comes up. So I don't know, we'll see. I mean, a project.
No,
might.
go ahead.
What about the festival circuit? You had much luck there running that?
There was one year where I think it was Murder Size. One year I was like, oh yeah, you know what? I'm just gonna submit to some festivals. And aside from one or two where I knew the person, like they're like friends of ours, and we were in the festival and the show, and we got some awards. It was great. The other ones I submitted to, like on Film Freeway, spending over like $400 or something, came back with nothing, zero, no declined, not accepted. So I was like, well, why am I doing this?
Very familiar.
Yeah, so I was like, I don't need this. Like,
well,
why do I need a festival? I can just,
also,
advertise it, put it on Instagram and Facebook, and make my own trailers and reviews and stuff, and just do it that way.
I think in the past, the whole goal with film festivals, the end goal was to get a distribution deal. Like a lot of times, the prizes were, and we'll distribute the winner.
Yeah, you can network.
But since we've already done that, we're like, the prize sucks. So why are we why are we paying to be in a festival to hopefully get a distribution deal that will never give us money when we could just cut all of this?
Yeah, we got
directly.
I know. I know.
You just summed it up in like a nice. I mean, you just broke the formula. I mean,
the prize is a net loss. That's
right.
What that is.
Exactly.
Yeah, because you got to fly yourself there. You got to get there. You got to pay for everything. You got to pay for the hotel. You got to pay to get in it.
You got to pay to lose.
You got to pay to lose.
Pay to lose, and then there's no networking because everybody's out for themselves anyway.
And
100%.
And then if you win, they steal your movie. So
yeah, exactly. Then they're out there and they're like, by the way, we own it now. You can't do anything. And we're like, what?
Yeah, I mean, there's been, and I don't know if there's this
no point.
If there's this thing going on. Yeah, I don't know if there's this thing going on now. It's like I see so many films being made, and they have like 100 laurels on a screen. Who are these people? Who are these film festivals? They got to be just some sort of fake festival where give me $50 here, give you a laurel.
Well, what kind of budget did you have to get in that many?
Exactly.
I mean, that's
holy shit. So it seems like just a scam.
Maybe it's just a picture, like you're just buying the clip art of the thing and just put it on your movie. Like
I would
like 3 out of 4 dentists, right? I mean,
I can see
film
festivals just selling their laurels. Like, hey, you want to be an official selection? Here you go. $50, $100.
But this way,
there you go.
We've been avoiding that whole route. We did in the early days, we did do more of that, but we did it as a joke, honestly. We're like, oh, it'd be funny if we submitted our crappiest project, and then that's the one that got accepted, and we're like, what?
Right.
It was so weird. But I mean, ever since those experiences, now that we've built more of a base, like of friends and networking and supporters, now it's just we get more satisfaction of being able to engage directly with the people who enjoy our projects, the people who are leaving comments or messaging us. So if we had distribution or if we were in conventions, like we wouldn't be able to engage with those people as much as we are through social media and Etsy and all that. So a lot of times they're like, is this really Paul, or is this somebody running Paul's account? And we're like, no, this is Paul.
Like my assistant or something? What do you mean?
Assistant. We can't afford an assistant.
I think that's really the key now. Because say what you will about, the internet and social media and all being terrible, and it really kind of is, but the plus side, it allows people like us, like filmmakers, to connect in ways that weren't possible before. And you can really cut out, because most of the back end of filmmaking, like I call it post-production, it's all bullshit. It's all horseshit. It's all the way to separate you from what little money you have left. And if you can cut that out and just engage directly with the people, I mean, that's a win.
That is a win.
I mean,
that's what you want to do.
That's what made it possible for us to even get a name or anything. Was the internet, Facebook, things that, like you said, as film students or in the early 2000s, we could have never predicted. Back then, it was like, oh, maybe I can enter a film festival. Maybe that will get me exposure.
I mean, we're kids of the 90s, so we were always inspired by people like Tarantino and, Kevin Smith and all these people who were starting to do indie film, but even then it was still really expensive. So
they would go to Sundance and all those festivals.
So we had that in mind when we first were going to film school, but then with the creation of the internet, social media, and the digital methods of being able to make films now and it being accessible to anyone. I know a lot of people complain about that because they're like, oh, any schmo can like make movies now, and there's lots of crap that sucks out there. But it's like, also, you're still good at giving power to people who should have their voices heard. And now it's like anyone can do it. There's not an excuse. Everyone has a phone. Anyone can make movies. There's editing software you can get directly on your phone. And if you're good, you will rise.
Yeah.
So,
you're going to be different. You're going to stand out from the rest of them.
And it was going to be hard. Yes, of course. You're going to have to be out there and engaging with people and like trying to build your network. And, you can either look at it as, this sucks. Why do I have to grind so hard? Why won't someone just invest in me, give me $1 million? And it's like, you can look at it like that, or you can look at it as, I get to do this. Because back before, you would have to hope you were 1 in a million that would make it in Hollywood, because you couldn't just own your own film equipment. You didn't have access to film editing rooms
or place
or locations
to show it.
And now you can, and you have social media to be able to make friends. And a lot of the actors friends we've made do not even live anywhere near us, but we've been able to connect and share this creative experience with people we never would have been able to meet before.
Right.
And it's just the internet for us. We're taking full advantage of it, and we're trying to max out as much, squeeze every drop of juice we can out of that thing, and make as many friends as we can, as many connections, make as many projects as we can, whether they suck, people think they suck or not. We're just trying to do as much as we can because we can.
Yeah.
Why not? Who's going to stop me?
Yeah. Hey, we enjoyed talking to you all tonight, Angie and Paul. Is there anything else you guys want to cover tonight, or anything else you want to plug? Your website, your Etsy, those types of things?
Yeah, you can find us on Instagram, _P_films. That's where we post all of our updates and our reels and our trailers and any kind of announcement. Of course, I'm on Facebook, Paul Ragsdale. I don't know how many Paul Ragsdales are on there, but you'll find me, you'll see my face, and film director, all that kind of stuff. That's where I'm always posting the same kind of stuff, announcements, castings, things like that. And
movies you can watch for free on Tubi or Plex. I think they're on Amazon.
Tubi's the one.
Tubi's the main one.
We have 4 movies up there: Cinco de Mayo, Streets of Vengeance, Slash Art Party, and Murder Size. OnlyFangs will be coming soon. To Tubi.
But for now, OnlyFangs is on the
Bloodstream TV.
So you can watch it there.
And we have physical media, Etsy.com, AAP Films.
No, absolutely. It's been more than a pleasure. Greg, we covered a lot tonight.
We did cover a lot tonight.
What did we cover?
Well, I think we talked about the highs,
the lows,
and the in-betweens of what?
True
independent filmmaking. On the Indie Film Sucks podcast, brought to you by 88mm Productions. You can find our crap on 88mmfilms.com. You can go to indiefilmsucks.com to get your movies reviewed. Facebook, Indie Film Sucks. I don't know, a bunch of places. Instagram. I don't even know where all.
Everywhere.
Everything.
We're everywhere. Paul and Angie.
Everywhere and nowhere.
Search it. You'll find it.
It's A&P Productions, correct?
Yeah.
A&P Productions. Paul and Angie, can't thank you enough for being with us tonight. All the success for you, and I wish the best for you. And you've taught our audience a lot tonight. We're all in this together, right? It's the biggest, smallest world in the entire existence of independent films, but we all just want to grind, and I think we all want to support each other. So support indie film, support Paul and Angie, A&P Films, and
OnlyFangs.
Go check out OnlyFangs as soon as it comes out, but you can find it where?
Bloodstream TV and Relay.
That's right. Thank you.
All right.
Film Sucks podcast.
Thank you, guys. Great talking to you.
Take care.
Good night.
Indie Film Sucks. Indie Film Sucks. It's the Indie Film Sucks